we have a full house. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being an amazing audience, supporting the second day of World Women Can Agenda. I know there is a lot happening, a lot of events, a lot of cool events, but supporting women is much more cooler. Thank you so much. This is one of the most exciting panel. As you can see, I'm moderating the panel, which is the hottest panel of the day. What women really want from brands. And I have some amazing world-class speakers with me. I wouldn't do justice just by reading their titles, but I would rather give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Maybe I'll start with Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Luca. I'm the Executive Vice President and Global Head of the Social Capability at Monks.
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe Veitch. You may have seen me on your screens at Netflix. I've turned from talent to host recently, and I love women.
Hi, I'm Dr. Didi. I founded 9 investment company. We invest in fintech and health tech, and we are here looking for good startup. We back up people to create good things in the world.
Hi, I'm Aury Mubarack Journe. I'm Director of Marketing of Art Confidential and also President of the Honoris Causa Foundation in Los Angeles.
Hi, you guys. My name is Abby Baffoe, and I am a social media content creator. I focus on lifestyle and beauty, and I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to be with you, and the purpose of this session is to explore what today's women really want from brands, beyond marketing buzzword. How can brands build real, long-lasting relationship with women as consumers, creators, and change makers? So maybe to begin with, it would be a good idea to kind of talk a little bit about being authentic, yet measuring the performance, which is why we are here. So what does it really mean for a brand to be authentic to women? Maybe I can start with you, Amy.
I think we hear a lot about authenticity, but really, what it really comes down to is really, and for brands, it's important for brands to make women feel something and be true to themselves. How do we entertain? How do we engage? How do we inform? And so I think when authenticity comes through and shines brightly, it's always when women and creators, especially for brands, are really informing, entertaining, and building trust amongst their audiences. That's really the basis of authenticity.
Thank you. Does anybody wants to chime in?
I think just allowing the creator, the woman behind the camera, space, allowing her to really dive into what her community is. Because we spend so many years, I've been a social media influencer, TV host, and on Netflix for 6 years now. And I've really developed and created a community that love and trust me. I've got an age range demographic of 85% women across all of my social media platforms. So giving the space and the free will to really know what they want to see can also benefit the brand and the women that trust me.
As you're talking about trust, what do you think brands should truly understand about women as they're serving them as the largest customers? What do you think they should understand the most?
I think what they need to understand is we are so multi-dimensional. We are not just a pretty face. We are not just someone that applies lipstick to feel beautiful, to look pretty, and to sell it. I am crazy. I have ADHD, dyslexia. I love my crazy side, my weird side, and I talk about mental health quite a lot. So I think when working with brands, the kind of stereotype that we fall into as creators and reality TV people like myself is, oh, she's got a following, we're going to use her, we're going to pay her a bunch of money, and she's going to sell anything to our audience. No, I'm not, because I love them, they love me, we have that mutual respect, and I lead with integrity.
That's powerful. I think also, as we are at the festival, which is about advertisement, and a lot of creators are here, and marketers are in the room. We need to talk about representation and the reality of representation. So maybe, I can ask Abby, as a public figure, as a creator, you're often the face of many brands. And what do you think, what is missing and what is being misinterpreted or misrepresented for creators as you're doing any campaigns for any brands?
Yeah, do you mean on the creator side or like the consumer side?
Both sides, if you can, shine a light on both sides.
Yeah, I feel like on the consumer side, the issue right now for women is I think that brands are trying to market and sell to women rather than understand women. And women want to buy things to make them feel something, whether it's confidence or luxury or being part of a community. So like it's a little bit more important for these campaigns to have more storytelling and be more authentic to the consumer rather than just try to like sell for a price tag,
And maybe, Amy, I would like to bring you in here as we are talking about the representation and reality. When you are launching global campaigns and working with influencers, how do you, what is your strategy about representation and the reality?
I mean, I think this is an extremely important topic. One of the clients we work with a lot is Dove, and Dove has been at the forefront of inclusivity. I can give you an example just from an advertising perspective as we kind of go into this AI world. If you ask AI what a beautiful woman looks like, you get a stereotype. And the truth is that women are much more dynamic, and we have to actually seek out and try to find diversity of all things, thought, gender, background, all of the things that make women a lot more, just people in general, a lot more dynamic and interesting. Representation in advertising has always been a big topic, and I think especially when you're trying to go after different target audiences, different consumers, people want to be reflected in the advertising that they see. They want the brand to understand, say, oh, they actually understand me as an individual. I will trust them more if they actually show that they, are supportive of different backgrounds and different viewpoints and different cultures. And I think that's one thing that advertising and brand, and as an advertising agency, it's our responsibility along with our clients to make sure that we are choosing talent that is representative of our audience and the consumers we're going after, because otherwise the advertising is not as effective, frankly. And actually we know from data that more diverse advertising actually impacts not just brand health or the brand health measures we look at, but it actually impacts sales. So diversity does drive business results.
Yes. This is not part of what we are discussing, but it's a follow-up question because I'm seeing a lot of conversations around AI. And do you think AI is helping you to make better decisions when it comes to representation, or shine a light on how AI is helping you to navigate more difficult conversations or launching campaigns that are more inclusive in nature?
I'll highlight a campaign that we just won an award for here at Cannes. It's called The Code for Dove. That whole campaign was around the idea that if you searched in any sort of LLM, show me a picture of a beautiful woman, you got white, Caucasian, blonde, blue-eyed, over-sexualized, same woman. But if you actually search in the LLMs for show me a beautiful woman according to Dove, you got a lot of diversity. And it was a big insight and unlock that brands who spend the time putting content out there that shows representation and diversity actually will train the future of AI so that we don't get AI that automatically creates content. There's a lot of stuff in Cannes here right now talking about how AI and Meta's talking about they're going to make ads for you and they're going to make them automatically. Well, if we don't train the AI to understand diversity, then it's going to come back with non-diverse representations of advertising. So it's incumbent on brands and agencies to make sure that all the content we're putting out there is creating, training the LLMs so they know what diversity actually means. And I think it's a really important aspect that we're talking about here a lot in Cannes.
That's an amazing example and a timely example, like how can we all play a part in training the AI to do better for us. Maybe I'll invite Dr. Didi now because she's a powerhouse investor, entrepreneur. You are helping a lot of businesses to grow and in making the investment. And also serving probably as mentor and guiding and building brands. What do you think the new companies are getting wrong?
As an investor, we invest in a lot of companies. And for example, the latest influencer that we paid, when we first met her, she said she earned about $150 for the whole day event. But we wrote her a check for 7 months' work, $15 million.
Bravo.
Yep. So how did we do it? We changed her inside. We changed how she perceived people. We asked her to speak from abundance, speak that everybody is perfect, everybody is enough, not to speak, to ask people, to talk to people as if they are not enough or they need something, not for them, not for making people to buy from insecurity, but rather to buy because you are abundance and you have joy. You buy, you purchase something not because you're lacking of something and you want that to validate your identity, but no, you feel beautiful, you feel you're whole, you feel content, and you have joy, and that's why you enjoy the finest thing in life. And as we all know, the more of the good and refined things we bring to our life, the more wealth and abundance and affluence comes to our life. And I would say that if brand talks more about that and we change the perception that, yes, you bring the refinement into your life and your life grow and you can help more people and you can allow more children to have a refined education, health care, and that would change everything. Where at the moment, all the medias are taking our awareness out of ourselves and making us feel less. However, as a takeaway, since we meet here for a few minutes, I would say bring your awareness back to yourself. Whatever you do, feel like you're looking out from inside. You see yourself and you see outside. Whatever you hear, you feel you as well. So whenever you're here, whatever you do, whoever talks to you, you feel that you're here. When you're here, you with your God, you with your higher self, you with your universe, you with your nirvana, higher power. Whatever your faith is, you're with him. But if you allow the noise outside to take you out and your mind goes out, you feel the void inside. The insecurity will come up. And from then on, the purchase or the buy, no matter how much you buy, will never fulfill you. However, so I would feel that if brand knows that, how about we work upon the creativity world, the world of abundance, the world of creativity rather than competition. For example, at the moment, a lot of governments or countries feel that they have to compete with each other. But actually, the world has more to offer for everyone. And if all of us here start to speak from our view that there is more than enough for everyone, and you are already enough, and we are enjoying all the products because we love ourselves and we want to enjoy it more. We all know there will be more wealth, more abundance, more luxury, more refinement to us. And all that takes is that be aware, start from here. So when we are here, we are back with our God. And then the higher power is guiding us. The higher power is with us all the way. And most of the time, what do? We don't surrender. Before you arrive here, many of you or some of you might have encountered certain problems in life. And what do? You try to be a little human, solving all your problems, but you're so small that actually God or higher power is saying to you that surrender, let me handle this. Don't get in the way. Just relax and enjoy life. And that would be perfect. What would suppose if I'm running a race with you and I'm carrying all these chairs on my back, and you're running without any chairs on your back, who's going to win? Of course, the one who's not carrying all the baggage on the back. So why don't we talk to the world? Put it down, relax, let the higher self guide us. Otherwise, we as a small human, we use our ignorance to guide us to do, let's do this more, let's do more of this, be more beautiful. And it never worked. However, today is the world of do less, get more. Be with yourself more, and you get everything. Her husband asked me yesterday when we arrived. We said we drove from London to Paris and Lyon and now Cannes. He said, oh, that must be a holiday. How long is your holiday going to be? I told her husband, forever. And he likes that very much. So why don't we all live like we are having holiday forever, every day for the rest of our life? And to begin, how to do that? Some of you might think, oh yeah, you can say that. Maybe you come from whatever family. No, actually, my husband passed away on the first year that we got married, and my son was less than 1 year old, and he passed away on the night of the New Year's Eve. And all his friends took away all the assets, left me more than $3 million, not in cash, in debt. And when I arrived at the funeral, whom I met was all the bankers and creditors, and they demanded the money back right away on the New Year's Eve. What I did, I knew that I have to be with myself. Then there was one wind blow and touched my skin. I felt the happiness rose. At that moment, I told my sister, I'm so happy. She said, are you crazy? Your husband died, your son is less than 1 year old, and now you're saying you're happy. I was happy. Since that day, I learned how to meditate. That meditation is nothing. A lot of you may think that, oh, I can't stop thinking. You can think as much as you like. How about that? Think as much as you like and just be aware that you're thinking. You don't even want to think and you're thinking, and then you will see that thoughts are not you. If your thoughts are not you, your emotion, your sadness are not you, then it's fine then. Be so sad as you want to be. I don't care. And that moment, I saw the pain in my leg and I said, stay there. I want to see how long you can last. And the moment the pain just disappeared because I could live with it. I knew then that I could get rid of the debt very easily. To make it short, I paid off all the more than $3 million debt in 7 months and earned 10-fold in 1.5 years.
Thank you.
And since then, we have been organizing a free meditation for 500 people 5 to 6 times a year, free accommodation, free meals around the world. And we might be doing in Samui, where the White Lotus is, and Phuket, maybe in Cannes. So what I'm going to, for the takeaway here, all of you are perfect enough. So be inside, be with your higher self, and you will have everything. So from now on, let's start from there. How about that?
Thank you. That's like you gave us a whole speech on being a heart-centered leader and building a heart-centered brand as well. So, and abundance. It's a big thing to think from the point of view of like I can have it all. Aury, to you, you work in the luxury world. How do you build this emotional connection with the women who aspire to build a connection with luxury brands?
Okay, for me, luxury is also the luxury to have freedom. You can be everywhere that you feel secure, and especially I think these days, all of us, it's kind of a bit complicated that, right? Anyway, luxury should be experiential for all of us, not just for a few. And I will love to see more brands that engage people, not just because the brands or the products are expensive, just because they will leave a mark to the future and leave legacy that bring more happiness to the people and make them feel secure, and they make feel enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we are talking a lot about emotion and connection, you know, and I think as a content creator, what are your strategies and how do you build a strong, resilient, connected audience while you're building content?
Yeah, I think that honestly, the most important thing being a content creator is having that trust and like communication and authenticity with your community, because if you don't have that, essentially you have nothing. You know, you get these brand deals and the only reason that they resonate or they do well is because you have an audience behind you that values your opinion and trusts your opinion. So if that trust goes away, there's no paycheck on the table that's worth it, because you'll slowly just fall off. So honestly, like just having trust with your community is the most important thing as a creator.
Maybe, Chloe, I would love to hear, how do you keep your community close to you and help them trust you?
Plain and simple, I overshare. I am honest, brutally, ruthlessly. I actually watched a Netflix documentary the other day. I can't remember the name of the woman, but she was a doctor. And I really want to try and get into like sociology, psychology, and all of that, because it really inspires me, because you can't be vulnerable, brave, and fearful at the same time, because vulnerability is being brave, and also having fear is being vulnerable. But it's beautiful. And I think with me, in order to resonate with my audience, it's to just be like what you said, like my authentic self. I cry on my social media. I tell them my life struggles, because I've got such a young audience. I've got from 15, 16 years old all across to like 45 years old. 85% of my following is women, and I really need to ask myself daily when I post, what is my intention? What value do I want to share? What do I want to educate them on? What do I want to allow them to see? Like, the world isn't perfect. Us as women, we're scrutinized and stereotyped, and we're put into this like box where we kind of have to think 10 steps ahead all the time. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. But yeah, I think showing that as a content creator and host on Netflix, my life can look very lavish, but there's ups and downs, you know? Like I struggle sometimes, and I don't want to teach my followers, especially the young women, that it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to go outside without makeup. Like, I really strongly believe that as long as I am empowering women and leading them down a path of self-love and for them to really nurture themselves, and that perfection is a myth. And that is beautiful. It's like we are so unique, we are so different, and we need to just lean into our intention, especially on social media, because there's 1,000 influencers. But do you have real influence? And what is your intention behind that? And what feeling are you creating behind that, you know? So, yeah.
That's powerful. Maybe, Amy, it's also tricky. You can, you have such a trustworthy community with whom you can rely on. But, social media is a very tricky place. Either it can break or make trust. And brands can be made on social media, or they can fall apart. What breaks it?
Well, I mean, I think there's, first and foremost, I think brand trust is broken when the brand doesn't follow through on what they say they're supposedly delivering. And that can be everything from product value or product attributes, but it can also be about the creators they work with or how they approach sensitive issues in society. And I think brands really have I think sometimes we forget that creators, especially creators on the stage as well, like, there's such a responsibility when it comes to influence. And it's not just influence, and I love what you guys had to say about it. It's just not influence for financial gain. You take a real responsibility to make sure that your influence is positive and in a positive way. And I can't say that about all creators, but from a brand perspective, brands themselves are personalities and influencers in the social media scape. Brands put content out there. They put content out there with creators in partnership. And when that trust gets, we're losing our cover. When that trust gets broken, you can see drastic changes in their community, in the brand community. The most high-profile one everyone knows about is Bud Light. But it wasn't because they chose a transgender influencer. It's because in that particular case, they didn't stay true to what the brand was trying to market when they marketed. And they actually put Dylan in a really difficult position because Dylan was doing an inauthentic brand campaign for March Madness basketball when Dylan was really a great influencer when it came to all the themes that she was talking about at the time. And it was a misalignment. And I think it's a really good example of how a brand and creator had misalignment and the trust was broken with their audience and their community. We see it a lot of times when creators, there's now Netflix shows on the downfall of influencers who were not authentic or they tried to trick the audience. The same thing goes with brands. If brands go out there, the most high profile one recently of a brand breaking trust with their community is Shein. They sent a bunch of creators to fake a factory experience, right? And at the end of the day, it's not real. And so the brand took a massive hit because they tried to trick the audience, and they as a brand, as an influencer in social, were inauthentic and tried to trick the audience. And that's the first way you can break trust. And it's really difficult to, like any relationship, the minute you break the trust in any relationship, it's very, very, very difficult to build it back. And it takes a lot of time and consistency. And some people will never come back because that brand trust is broken. I think most often, though, where brand trust is broken usually is in product, saying the product can do something and it doesn't do that. And that is an epidemic in social right now, especially in the beauty sector. Everyone's launching their own brand with all these magical things that they can do. And young girls get influenced by influencers saying, hey, this is the new thing. And they try it and it either doesn't work or it's not or some in some cases is dangerous. And so that's why I think it's really great when you have really responsible creators who are trying to build that trust with a brand. And brands are very responsible for making sure that they don't put products or messages out in the world that are intended to be dishonest with their audience.
That's powerful. Maybe I'll stay with you, Amy. The next question that I have is, what do you think one brand that is getting it right and doing it right?
Well, I'm very biased because I've worked with Dove for 8 years.
We love Dove.
Yes, everyone loves Dove. And I think the secret to their success, actually, especially with creators, is they rigorously vet. So by the time they reach out to you for a brand deal, they know a lot about you already. And they don't do, there's always exceptions to the rule, but majority of their purpose-driven work are longer-term brand commitments. One of the most powerful things that when I started working with Dove that I just admired so much is they spent the money to fly all of the influencers in the United States to their offices in New Jersey to really immerse them in the brand. And the creators that showed up there said, wow, like the brand team really believes in what they're doing here. Like, this isn't just a marketing gimmick. And that authenticity that the brand displayed behind the scenes, away from a camera, away from a social post, made those creators, even after they were done with their contract, Dove women for life. And that's how brands really, and we work with Sephora in the United States as well. Sephora does a really good job with building their community, making sure that creators are respected, not just for the content they create, but because they're human beings with feelings and can, really impact, support them in ways beyond just financial, right? And I think that's really important, the brands for creators. And I'd love to hear you guys of brands that got it right, because I like to learn to make sure our teams are looking for those brands that are getting it right.
Yeah. I'll pass you the mic and so I've been on multiple, and I love that you incorporated brand trips into what you've just said, because I work with multiple brands that align with me and my purpose. But I think for me, one thing that does really stand out is Colour Wow. I've worked with them a bunch, and I went away to Texas with them. It was for the Texas Hold'em hairspray. That's where I actually met you.
Yes.
We met each other on the brand
Yes,
trip.
we did.
It wasn't my first brand trip. And I've had lots of experience with different other brands. But again, behind the scenes, it was very much, they would come and talk to you about why it's different. And they actually brought in like industry experts that they've brought on. It's almost like a family-run business, and the way that they explain the product and treat you as family and have all of these excursions. And it isn't just, oh, hold the hairspray, we're going to take a picture and we're just going to blast it all over social media without paying you. It's very much a collaboration. Values, morals, and integrity. So yeah, that's one of the brands that I love to work with, and Amazon, because they also have like an influencer program. And for me, being given the free will and the space to sit down with no makeup, for them to send you a bunch of products that you have chosen, that you love and align with, that you know works, for you to actually allow your audience to see what you use, because you're not faking it or just selling it for the sake of it. They allow you to test the brand, the products, and then you are able to link it in your socials. So yeah, they're my favorite brands to work with.
I think you said something about how like not doing scripted, or when the brand allows you to really like be yourself in whatever campaign they're having you work on. That is so important to me, because like we said, we do create these communities. They're following us for us, and they want to hear what we genuinely think about products, what we think about the brand. They don't want to hear something scripted and something like, you know, not genuine. But a brand that I really think of that I absolutely just adore is Rael. I just had an incredible opportunity to go to Korea for them. And they're a Korean feminine care brand, and they just care so much about what we're putting in our bodies or using in our feminine parts. As women, as we know, we just had a huge tampon like lore in the United States where they found lead, heavy metals. So there's a lot of brands that don't care about that. And it was really cool to see like the CEO speak about it. We got to go see the factory, see how all the products were made. And I just feel like when the brands do that, it makes the creator, it's such a more genuine partnership, because then you truly just fall in love with the brand, and it just like goes together so much more organically. And now I genuinely love them, as you could like even tell as I'm talking about them. Like I truly love the brand.
Thank you. Maybe, yeah. Aury.
Okay, I will speak about FP Journe. Maybe not many people in here know about it. I have the privilege to be part of the family. Also, it's a huge way for me carry the name, but at the same time, I admire the brand not just because it's part of the family, also because the values that drives in it. And I really admire my brother-in-law, Francois Paul Journe, because he is an entrepreneur that develops everything that you can see from the brand, from the watchmaker movements, from the stores, from everything. Like, it's kind of crazy, because I love the brand. And travel with the collectors, live the community, be part of the community is something that exceeds what the people can see sometimes, and that you will be part is more than the machine, or more beyond the watch. Who needs the watch is always my husband say about it. Who needs the watch now? No one. But who needs a community, who needs values, and who needs a brand that really goes with you and be an heirloom for your family and for the future generations. Thank you.
That's amazing. Maybe Dr. D.
Yes, and you said it beautifully. I just want to add that at the end of the day, people chase feeling. They're not buying product, but they're chasing feeling. Suppose you set up a goal today, you may ask yourself, what do you want from that goal? What feeling are you chasing in order to get that goal? What that goal will bring you the feeling. So what all of us are doing is that we're solving people's problem, how they want to feel at the end of the day. It's not about the product. It's how we have solved their life. It's how we have shifted their life to a higher frequency, higher hierarchy of being. So at the end of the day, I think the secret of a long-term success is that what you've all said is the authenticity, that we truly believe in what we're doing and we do it right. We do it in a way that it really helps people and it changes people's life. And then the creator, we've seen a lot of people that just want to do one post. Oh, I will quote you 5 posts, 10 posts. We never work with creators with short-term movement, because we believe that unless you want to know us, learn about our business, and we grow together, and you build your life. I believe in making people have freedom in life. I mean, all kind of freedom, emotional freedom, financial freedom, where you want to work, where you want to be, who you want to be with, doing what with whom, when and where, how you travel, what you want to wear. That's the kind of freedom that I think the whole world, women or men in the whole world, deserve. We should not sell our soul for something that we don't love. So that means people should come into the product and understand, and you really devoted for it, and you want to build your life around this, and then all of us grow and have the total life freedom. I love it that if I can ask for one thing, I will ask that the whole world, people can choose what they want to do, who they want to be with, when and where and what, and everything. At the moment, people have to do something they don't love, they don't like, with the people they don't admire, and I don't think that's nice at all. So how about being a brand? Let's do something that we build something good that solve people's problem, and the creators also now understand that they will work with the brand, and the brand, they're building the brand as well as building their own life, and we grow together, and at the end of the day the consumers will have that life change. However, I would like to add that things comes and go. The brand may goes up and then come down and then go up. Even Apple by Steve Jobs, things are that way. And maybe when we talk about authenticity, when you were 20 years old, you believed in something. But when you grow, younger, 30, 40, you might believe on something else. When I was young, I was fooled by believing that one should not surround yourself with luxury. The more ragged you look, that's the more spiritual you are, which is not true at all. So at the end of the day, brand can grow and the creator can grow. So if your consumer said, no, I want you to say exactly the same thing as you did 20 years ago, you don't need that. So I just want to support creators and brand that you can grow, because our learning, our judgment actually grow and evolve. So allow ourselves to evolve, and don't even mind that, if I change my standpoint, my paradigm, my followers won't follow me. Let them be, because that will make more room for the nicer people that are along with you, that will get along with you more. So I would like to support all of you to be yourself and know that life comes and go, it changes, and just enjoy it.
Thank
Let's
you.
make the world a better place. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, from being yourself means sometimes saying no, right? Maybe I would like to bring in Chloe and Abby, both of you. Do you ever say no to deals which does not resonate with your audience?
Yes. I feel like I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today without saying no. And do you know what? I think as a creator, sometimes our monthly budgets or our income, it can fluctuate. In the first couple years, 1 month I was my richest, 1 month I was my poorest. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to feed myself? People think that I'm a millionaire because I've been on multiple Netflix shows. It's just not true. And I think the money that you earn, if you hold the space for your long-term vision, again, like what you said, it does come tenfold. And I feel like the reason why I have said no to certain brands is because it just doesn't align with me. That's it. Like, I can put on a gym set. I don't go to the gym, but I can put it on and be like, I don't go to the gym, I'm going to be honest with you, but it's really cute to go and grab a coffee in. And I think if you angle it in that way, it's great. But if it's a brand that really does not align with your values, then yeah, just say no, because there will be other opportunities, and don't let that anxiety hold you back, and the fear of failing as an influencer. Because you will get that money back with another brand. Just hold yourself to a high standard with high values.
Thank you. Maybe Abby, I'll take your perspective on this.
Yes, so I definitely say no. My manager's sitting right here. She's like laughing because I'm very particular with who I work with. This kind of goes back to like what I said in the beginning, that if you lose trust, you basically have nothing, and there's no paycheck big enough that's worth it. I like actually just had a recent collaboration where we were like through the contract stage and everything, and they wanted me to say something that was kind of like detrimental to women about like the female parts, and we pulled out. I was like, I will absolutely not say that to young women. I will not say that to any woman ever. Like, that's just not what I support on my page. So yeah, we pulled out, and I do think it's important to stand true with your values, do what resonates with your page. And honestly, a brand doesn't want you working for them that you don't really love anyways, because it's gonna like show through in the video. Like, it's just not gonna resonate as well.
That's powerful. And maybe I'll bring in Amy here. You work with big brands. You represent one of the biggest agencies and doing some futuristic work. When you are picking up creators, where are you looking at with just visibility, or you're looking at inclusion, intentional inclusion, and also making sure they're building a long-term community for your client?
I mean, there's so many different things we look at. I think initially how the process works behind the scenes is it starts with data. We want to make sure that we've got audience alignment. We start with that. But then it really comes down to quality and craft and the voice, how things are said, the type of content that's created. Is that content in alignment with the brand stylistically, brand-wise? And then I'll be honest, like sometimes in terms of the selection, we gravitate to creators that are easier to work with, that deliver. Because at the end of the day, this is a professional industry, and I think one of the things that people forget about creators, it is a business, it is a job. It's not just someone at home with their iPhone taking photos. And so a lot of the professionalism, the teams that we like to work with, we bring business back to them time and time again because of the fact that they are authentic, they are representing our brands well, they communicate with our brands well. And it happens more often than you think. You put a creator in front of a brand, and we get really worried about this. And by the way, it's not just creators. This is with celebrity talent as well. You put them in front of a brand manager, brand director, brand VP, a CMO, and you really hope it goes well, because otherwise there's no long-term partnership. And we've seen that time and time again. And I think this is a professional industry now. This is not a new thing. Creators are not new. So there's many, many different factors that we look for. And then the creators that are professional, approach it the way you guys do. It's a business. It's a professional relationship, but it's also a relationship with your community, are the creators that we tend to gravitate to time and time again. So I think you probably have worked with agencies and different businesses and brands over and over again because of professionalism and relationship that is built. So at the end of the day, what is an influencer? What is a creator? Well, it's somebody that has a relationship with their audience, and likewise, brands want to have a relationship with that creator and their audience. So I think keeping that top of mind is always important in how we choose our creators.
Yeah, thank you. As we are moving to the last part of the conversation, maybe I'll stay with you again. In one word, what do you think women really want from brands in 2025 and beyond?
Less bullshit, more substance. And at the end of the day, we say a lot with social media. We have to stop the scroll. Brands have 2.5 seconds. Creators have 2.5 seconds to stop the scroll. You better be entertaining. You better be informative, and you better be consistent, and you better not talk to talk. And I think, less bullshit, more substance.
Thank you. Mic drop.
Yes, mic drop. I mean, okay. Literally exactly what you just said. Just be real. Yeah.
Thank you.
We make something that works. Everyone wants something that works. For example, I'm almost 60 years old, and I make my own vitamins, and I consume my own vitamins without any plastic surgery. So I'm proud of myself, almost 60 years old. And
Thank you.
And sitting next to the most beautiful creators here. So I said, build something that works. Yes, that's what people need.
co-create. Because at the end, this world, if we are not a community that co-creates together and for others, are not humans. That's it.
I think women want more depth and trust. Depth as in, more storytelling and campaigning. Women want to feel something when they're purchasing something, feel more like they're part of a community. And then trust, going back to authenticity and, trusting the results, trusting the creators that they pick to represent the brands. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was an amazing panel. As you can see, I'm a very shy person, but I hope I did a good job.
You did so good.
Thank you for being kind to me and kind to the audience. And it definitely matters, brands to be kinder to be women and build a kinder world for everybody. Thank you so much.